Hello and welcome to Life of Pi, a series where we capture the experiences of our MSc Prosperity, Innovation and Entrepreneurship students here at UCL's Institute for Global Prosperity. We will be catching up on what the students have been up to and asking them some of the questions that you would have asked as a prospective student if you had a chance to sit with them and have coffee. My name is Onya Idoko, and I have with me two of our brilliant Pi students, Amanda and Manolo. Welcome, guys.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Anya.
you.
Happy to be here.
Good. So I want to start with Amanda. Tell us where you're from and what attracted you to the MSc Pi program.
So I'm from Indonesia, and I had a social enterprise before. I tried to build a secondhand fashion brand back then in Indonesia, but it was so hard because first, my entrepreneurial capacity, I thought it was not enough, and the second one, sustainable fashion is an emerging concept in Indonesia, so it was very challenging for me. And then I started to think about how I should take it further. It was not that easy to find a course back then in Indonesia, so that I tried to find what is sustainable fashion programs out there, and then UK is the place for it. And then I tried to type social entrepreneurship on Google, and then I found several programs actually. But then when I compared all of them, I found this program, Prosperity, Innovation, and Entrepreneurship, was the most interesting because the curriculum catered to my needs. So I came here, and I think it fulfilled my expectation.
Thank you, Amanda. And Manolo, tell us where you're from and what attracted you to the program.
Well, actually, my real name is Juan Manuel, but everybody calls me Manolo, and I'm from Mexico. And I was fortunate enough to get into good positions in the companies I worked for in marketing and business development and communication. But there was something inside me that I felt that I needed to pursue something more impactful. And I felt I needed a shift in my career, and studying a master's was a very good idea to do that. And when looking for the program, I found similar to Amanda, that innovation was something that I was related to, but it had ingrained this impact and purpose perspective that I was looking for. And when I read about the modules and the idea of the program, I felt that it was written for me, like it was something that was designed for me. And it was very interesting when I arrived here how everyone had a similar interest and concern about doing something from their different fields.
Okay, great. Thank you. So you're both full-time students and you're currently working on your dissertations. What I'd like to ask then is tell us about one topic that has been most impactful for you. So you've done all your core modules and your electives, but can you talk about one topic, one theory, or one concept that has been most impactful? Let's start with you, Manolo.
Okay. Well, it's a very problem-solving program. So I think there's two aspects about it. First, the problems. We saw a lot of problems, such as inequality, which I was very interested, but I didn't know how to really word many of the things that was going in my head. And then we saw about theories to solve it. And I think there were two main theories that I was very attracted. One was in my elective class of Pathways for Prosperity 2, which is also in the faculty of the Institute for Global Prosperity, which is called the multi-level perspective, in which niche innovations can impact the regime and the landscape to achieve transitions. So in that sense, that bottom-up approach, that community-based kind of approach was very interesting for me to really make something and turn those ideas into practice. And the other one was the effectuation theory, in which we have it with you in your model, which also helped me, and I guess we'll talk about later about it, but just to get things done and just move forward, even though many of the things are not completely settled, but just moving forward.
Okay, great. Amanda?
For me, it was your course. It's not because you asked me that, but then I remember this one thing, a case study that you gave us about the community-based entrepreneurship. Remind me where this
Nola.
entrepreneurship, yeah, the
Tibet.
Nola, yeah, Tibet, that was it. So it was really interesting because we had a discussion, and I think one of the things that I appreciate from this program is the diversity of this cohort. So we had an interesting discussion back then about Nola, how she kind of like nurtured this community and then creating the heritage culture and spread it to the international world. But then we had some discussions about, is it ethical to actually make them work for it, and then kind of like the entrepreneur get the recognition for it and have the profit. And it was like really stimulating my perspective, because before I came here, I think the education system in my country was a bit more like, okay, so this is given to you, you have to accept it, whatever it was, because we are right, right? But here I was like, I tended to do that as well in the beginning of my course, and then try to just absorb everything that has been given to me. But then you encourage us to critically think about anything, including every case studies that you gave us. And so when I had the discussion with my cohort and my group, it was really, really interesting, and it was like mind blowing because I get to see like other perspectives, and it kind of like changed my perspective on social entrepreneurship as what I used to see as a hero, kind of like that.
Okay. Thank you both. That was really interesting. In a way, I'm almost humbled that that these case studies and what we're doing in class actually still stays with you up until now,
Oh,
in
it
the
is.
thick of your dissertation, right? So that was really humbling for me. So now I want to jump in and talk about really the reason why I pulled you both here, which is that Manolo and Amanda participated in the Build Your Own Business competition, which is organized by UCL's Innovation and Enterprise Department. And I'm pleased to say that both of them came first, so they won first prize, and we are incredibly proud of the two of them for doing Pi proud. And I want to say congratulations to you both again. But I'd like to dig in a little bit deeper. Tell us about the competition. And I'll start with you, Amanda. Tell us a little bit about the competition, and then I'll come to you, Manolo, and ask you about, are there links between what you learned on the Pi program and the competition? So let's start with you, Amanda.
Okay, so UCL has this very exciting program series of workshops organized by UCL Innovation and Enterprise Department. And I joined the whole series actually from term 1. It was beginning with creative thinking, and I joined the next level, which was build your own business first. And then I joined the second one, build your own business 2, which allow us to join the pitch competition. And I joined the series, and then I thought, no, I was just going to just participate and not going to participate in the pitch competition because I had this self-limiting belief. But then the mentor encouraged me to just like, just put yourself out there, and there might be no another change in the future for you, and this is like a great opportunity. So that I just embraced it, and I created the pitch within 1 week. And then it was sort of a great experience because I got to reflect on my own values, background, my expertise, and what I want to do, relate that with what the world needs. And I came up with this idea, making community for tech, women in tech, because I was studying coding myself, and then I thought it was so lonely to learn about it alone. And then that's how I came up with this idea, and I won the pitch. I think what I've learned through that experience was that to stay true to yourself, and just to create like whatever close to your heart. And I was just being authentic, and that got me one. So I didn't like create some like big concept of whatever, but it's just like something that really close and community based. And I think that's what the course affected my decision to make that.
Okay, good, great. Manolo, so tell us if there are any links or if there were any applications from your learning on the program to the Build Your Own Business competition.
Yeah, I guess it happens that when you are so passionate about something and you had a lot of learnings, some of the skills you obtain are kind of invisible. It's like a kind of a mindset that you just obtain and you think in that way and you think it's the natural way of thinking. And I think this program provided me with a mindset that is very oriented to problem solving, but not only to solve problems in a very with a very limited improvement, but addressing the root of the problems, which was what we call transformative entrepreneurship in your classes. And I think with that approach, I naturally, instinctively try to address the root problem of this thing. And my project was about how emerging artists are not listened in platforms such as Apple Music or Spotify, but was trying to find creative ways for them to be heard. And in that sense, I was also very loyal to my passions and what I'm interested about, but with a very accurate strategy, like with very good arguments. So in that sense, I think that the program helped me to put intention, but also a lot of stability to my dreams, not only being very naive to trying to achieve it, but being very argumentative about how I want to achieve them.
Okay, great. Now what I kind of call my surprise or finishing question. If you could travel back in time and speak to your 2021 selves, what advice would you give her and him to help them on their journey as they start the program? So you're here, you're almost at the end. Your dissertations will be in next month. If you could go back in time and talk to yourselves, what advice, just one piece of advice, what would you give your 2021 self, Amanda?
Wow, I actually have a lot. But then if I only have to give one, then just embrace the unknown. That's what I want to tell myself, because sometimes, I had these self-limiting beliefs, always kind of like thinking, what happened if I don't take this? What happened if I take this? And afraid of things. And I think that was very limiting for myself. Being an entrepreneur is something that you need to embrace the unknown. You need to keep curious and you need to explore things. And sometimes what's stopping you is just really if you don't do it. So I would tell myself just explore things, just embrace things, because you won't regret. What's the worst thing that will happen to you? Nothing. Worst thing is you lost some money, but then it's not something that define your prosperity, right? So I would tell myself that.
Thank you. Nice. Manolo?
It's a difficult question. I have two advices.
Okay.
First, it was one that I actually received when I was very stressed during the applications and getting the visa, and it was during the pandemic, so everything was quite uncertain. And I remember that a friend told me, in some years you would like to return to this specific moment when you're about to live a year with a lot of adventures and with a lot of growing and getting out of your comfort zone. So first of all, it's like, it will be all right, you will enjoy it too much, don't get too stressed. And the other one was to really, and it's very difficult to live in the present moment, right? But I really cherish like the fortune of being in touch with people such as Amanda and people from all over the world, from India, from the UK, from South Africa, from Chile, from all over the world, that are so interesting, so good in which they specialized, and with such a nice energy, with a nice heart. I think one of the main qualities that the program has is the ability to get wonderful people together. So I would tell, just enjoy the moment with them, because probably in 1 month we'll all be back into our country. Some of us will stay, but it's like really enjoy the time spent with them, because it's wonderful people that you'll meet.
Thank you so much, both of you. It was so lovely sitting down with our two students on the MSc Prosperity, Innovation, and Entrepreneurship program. I wish you both the best, and I hope that I will be there at your graduation. And if you're going home, I hope that you're able to make it back for the graduation. But good luck with everything, and thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.